Your Shit Post Boys podcast, episode 7 or 8. Doesn't really matter at this point. Still not using
Not
the number
really.
system.
Right.
I'm Kilo. Here with my homie,
9 deuce.
Nine Deuce.
9 deuce. Mm-hmm.
This nigga's ecstatic right now. Never been so excited to pod, have you?
I feel like kicking somebody's ass. I don't know who and I don't care who, but I feel like kicking somebody's ass.
We're better than our base nature, Jonathan.
You are. I'm not.
I am definitely better than my baser nature. Most days. Most of the time. Like 60% of the time.
Okay. That's fair.
In any case, I hope everybody's doing well. I hope y'all are staying socially distant, not getting in each other's faces, not kissing on strangers, things of that nature that might get you fucked up. Not literally, but, everything is a risk. Choose wisely, as J. Cole would say. In any case, what topic you want to get to first? Why is it funny that I mentioned Cole? You got some. You and Rock Nation got something going on that I don't know about. Because I done mentioned some other people from Rock Nation, and you also.
The fuck? Okay, you creating narratives.
And I thought those was your homies.
Okay, whatever, man. Anyways, look, we can either continue the conversation we had before and lead that into a general hip hop conversation, or we can just get into the general hip hop conversation. How do you want to do this?
I'm down for whatever. I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one, Mister. I want to beat the hell out of everybody.
Thank you. Yeah, so we're just gonna jump right into the hip hop conversation because my whole thought process in picking up the only thing I have to say in regards to the last topic that we had was I don't think that the song is that bad. The video is not bad neither.
Clarify. If somebody didn't hear the last episode, clarify.
Go back and listen.
I need the whole world to know. I need the whole world to know you out here talking down about Meg.
I'm not talking down on Meg at all. We between the two of us, we know who the music snob is.
Say it with your chest.
I'm not gonna say nobody's
name. Say
it
with your chest.
Anyway. Oh, okay, fam. Between the two of us, we know who the music snob is. I will not say any names. Now, we were talking about WAP last time, and you asked me how the culture felt about it. I don't know how the culture feels about shit because I'm not connected to the culture. I'm just one individual. I speak for myself. Now, in terms of analyzing that song from an artistic standpoint, it's not bad. It's not the worst thing I've ever heard in life. The video's good. The song is
not the worst thing
good
in certain.
No, it's not the worst thing in life that I've ever heard. I've heard way worse shit.
You clearly want beef in Houston with the phrases you're using.
Fam, I told you I like the song. I told you
don't
I
love
like the video.
You can live without it is what you're trying to tell me?
There's nothing in this. There is no. Hey. It's hard enough for me to like some shit. Fuck love.
So you're too good for this song?
No. Jesus Christ, look at you.
I just want to know why you hate. I just want to know why you hate.
As I was saying,
why do you hate Megan Cardi?
As I was saying, I like the contrast between Cardi and Meg. Cardi comes off as she's playing the role of a submissive woman while Meg is being the more aggressive type. And I like the contrast between the two. It's dope. They balance each other out. It's awesome. I like that. I like that aspect of it the most.
I mean,
moving on. Okay, so
oh boy.
It was getting too silent and too awkward. I said what I said.
I just wanted you to. I just gave you the room to speak to the people about how you really feel.
I just told you how I really feel. Now, Now, on to more pressing hip hop matters.
That's not pressing hip hop matters.
Yeah.
Hold on. Before you go, Meg just released another
Oh
single.
God,
Why didn't you acknowledge the fact she just released a new single? Why do you hate?
because I do.
Why do you? I
Uh,
repeat, that's another Rock Nation artist. So help me understand what's going on with Rock Nation artists and you.
Fam,
I'm
just
just
about
saying.
everybody is signed under Rock Nation.
You sound a little.
Just about,
You sound a little angry
just
about
about.
that. Expound.
No, I am going to
You
throw
about to say something
spoiled
about
fruit
Wale
at you.
next? I would protest my ass out of here. Like you did down talk Jay, other Jay,
I
Meg,
have.
Jay, Cole, Jermaine. For the record, I'll
you
totally
out
making
here,
all of this shit up. I want nobody to
you out
actually
here,
come at you.
you you out here just spreading the most outlandish lies of all
I'm just
time.
saying, you seem to have a lot of problems with the Jays and the Megs and the Wale.
My name starts with J. How could I possibly have a
Also, it's
problem
so
with
hate.
J's?
We got to the root. I think we're
No.
making a breakthrough. How
We're
does
not
John feel
making a
about John
breakthrough.
today?
You're just out here spreading more lies with your trollery. I hate you.
Anyway. All right,
Fam.
now that things have settled, now that we got past the 7 minute mark, and we can go into some serious things. Here's the thing
Oh
about
shit.
here's the thing about music and pop music and hip hop music and the intersection. A
Oh
lot of
gosh.
times, and especially as of late with the TikToks and the other platforms that really actually create music exposure at this point, you really gotta sit back and think about it. Like, do I enjoy these songs or am I enjoying the video or is it both? Do I really enjoy what this artist does? Are they doing anything revolutionary? Am I falling for the okey doke? These are all questions I would ask myself if I was into that kind of music like that, but I'm really not. As everybody knows, the only thing I listen to is Doom. Doom and nothing else. Wait, scratch that. Doom and Evanescence. That's a joke. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Okay, please.
That's what people feel like you into if you tell them like I'm not really into like pop rap and shit like that. Oh, you see, you listen to Doom. Like, yeah, on occasion, like Doom is not my favorite rapper. I listen if a new Doom project comes out. Yeah, I'm gonna listen to it. Am I gonna put it in permanent
Right.
rotation? Probably not. Um,
Right.
and that's not to say there's anything wrong with Doom and like Doom stands, but like for me, it's not something I listen to all the time. It's definitely something I put on occasion. I listen to jazz on occasion. I listen to fuck you name it on occasion, but like I don't exclusively listen to like super underground or super cerebral stuff all the time, like people might think.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 7 times out of 10, if you're getting in the car with me, it's probably gonna be something along the lines of old strange stuff, not necessarily the newer strange stuff, which is no not to the newer strange stuff, but obviously I've lived with the older strange stuff more times. Longer that is. Um, I listen to a lot of Dro. I listen to a lot of Houston shit. Like a Chameleon song is coming on at some point on the trip. Um,
and and that's good. That's good.
something shady or shady adjacent, whether it be Joel, Joe, Crook, like that's coming on at some point. Um,
Mm-hmm.
despite Royce and Yellow Wolf beefing, I never stopped listening to Yellow Wolf.
Fair.
I
No, that's fair. That's
was like,
fair.
man, I really hope they patch it up. Let me throw on
Right.
Trump music again.
Hey, if Royce is out here helping Lord Jamar and Eminem squash whatever issue they had, I'm sure that at some point the Yellow Wolf Royce the 5'9" conversation will happen.
I feel like it's got to at this point because his brand is kind of bringing people together now, which I never thought I would see, which is why I did that long ass post about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you actually saw that or not, but it was a reference to Bar Exam too on
Yeah,
Let the
yeah.
Beat Bill. Yeah. So, but nah, shout out to Royce and Lupe starting a podcast though, which is not something I ever expected because we didn't even get a fucking song from these niggas yet.
No, not at all. Not not
If
at
you walked
all.
into 2020 and somebody was gonna be like, trust me, it's nothing but death in a Lupe Royce podcast. You just said, get the fuck out of here. You know what, nigga, get the fuck out of my face.
Oh shit! Oh dog! Oh yeah, I saw that as soon as they announced it. Like as soon as Royce posted it on his Instagram, I saw that and I was like, "Oh shit, this is a thing." Wow. Well, this should be interesting. I will be there day fucking one. So yeah, Lupe Royce show. That shit is going to be awesome. That is going to be amazing. That's gonna be the shit for real. Ugh. Yeah, man.
I mean, but within the realm of possibility, that was always within the realm of possibility, I feel like, because like their lives would be the
Of
ones that
course.
go big on YouTube. Their lives would be the ones that go big on YouTube for sure. I thought for
Mm-hmm.
certain that at some point Lou was gonna be on the JBP, but
Right.
I mean, what's the point at this point? But, however, with them doing shit a little differently, like there's perfect opportunity for a collaborative podcast at that point. But I do feel like Lupa will get out of his body the moment that they joke a little bit too much, which has happened like on the podcast. Which is funny as shit because when you stop to think about it, every single beef that Lupe allegedly been in or that people tried to hype up went somewhere for like 6 hours and then niggas was apologizing. Like outside Cuddy, who just all around disappeared. Like there's not much that there's not many instances of Lou going a particular direction with shit and things escalating. They usually just die the fuck off. Anyway, break's over. Uh, what the fuck were you talking about? Right, the unexpected, the unexpected duo for a podcast that we still haven't got a fucking song from. Are we ungrateful?
Yeah.
Are we ungrateful as fans for demanding so much? Especially in the era where we know niggas don't really care about lyrics. Which I know makes you
I don't know.
depressed whenever I say
I'm
it,
the
but
I'm
trust me, it's okay.
no no I'm not. I'm not depressed, fam.
I said it makes you depressed.
No.
I didn't say you were depressed.
Well, no, that doesn't depress me exactly.
It negatively impacts your ability to learn and cope and live. How about that?
That still doesn't fit. So, anyways, I can't speak for anybody else, but I'm happy. Again, I can't speak for anybody else, but I'm happy. I just always wanted to see Lupe and Royce do something together.
A
It didn't
podcast though.
necessarily have to be a record.
A podcast though.
That should be funny. I would like to hear more conversations between Lou and Royce. I had seen the IG live that they had did. That shit was cool. Um, and if it's anything like that, then it should be only like more centered. Then it should be a pretty interesting experiment. That should be pretty damn good.
But a podcast of all the
Yeah,
things. I'll let you get your shit
yeah.
off. I'll let you marinate. But a podcast of all things, why that particular format?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know why anybody wants to do anything that everybody else and their mama is doing. But if you're good at it, then fuck it, do it.
I mean,
Innovation
I
is
definitely feel like Lou needed.
innovation is a
Go ahead.
innovation is a very hard thing to come by. That's the thing that depresses me because when we talk about fucking music, I don't give a fuck if like I don't give a fuck if your music is supposed to be fun, if it's supposed to be lyrical or whatever have you. I came to the realization a long time ago, and over the weekend I was sharing this with a friend. Somebody was like, "There's way too many motherfuckers trying to make music," and I was young at the time, so I took a little bit of offense to that. Today, you're right. I agree. There's too many motherfuckers trying to make music, and it makes it makes the uh, it makes the experience of making music a little it kind of sucks the fucking joy out of it because you know that at that moment there's probably 50,000 um other people at that exact moment who's probably doing the exact same thing that you're doing. Maybe not the exact same thing, but they're doing the same thing that you're doing to some extent. Like
But that's always. Do you
that's
think
a
about that during meals, nigga?
nigga, we all need to live. We all don't need to make fucking music. We
We
don't.
all do need to make music in some way or shape or form. Like even the consumption of music, like is you're generally making music while you're consuming music. Like a head nod in some way, shape, or form, humming along, like all of that. Like that's. I think we don't give it enough credit, but we also give too much thought to who else is doing shit. In my opinion, sometimes I don't see I don't see the merit in. Better yet, I don't see how you can successfully create the way that you want to if in any way, shape, or form you're worried about how other people are creating. Not even
No, I'm
necessarily
not.
worried about
Not
it,
not
but just like allowing those thoughts to intrude upon your process.
no. See, that's not an active thought for me. That's more or less a subconscious thought. It's like there's 50 million other people trying to do this shit simply because they have a microphone and they know somebody that can make beats. It's like it's annoying as
Yeah.
hell.
I mean, rap has
It
always been a hustle in a sense, though. Like, that's the spirit of it. That's the shit we gravitate to the most. I don't think there's a single album that you can point to that doesn't, in some way, shape, or form, acknowledge that. Like, even on Drogas Wave, there's a record about that.
okay. Okay. Okay.
I mean, free to counterpoint it. Or attempt to counterpoint it.
I have no counterpoints because like it's not a discussion for me. All I know is that at this point in my life, the idea of trying to make a career out of rap just seemed like, you know, everybody and their mama wants to pick up a fucking ball at some point and try and make it to the league. The likelihood of it happening is just not a thing. Now it's just unattractive. Now it is just unattractive.
I mean, what about it? Expound.
Again, the fact that there's about 50 million other people that think that they out here doing something significant simply because they have a microphone. Okay, now that's where I start sounding like a music snob. But you know what? I really don't give a shit.
You ever think about I'm hating? Like, does that ever pop in your head?
No, not at all.
Why not? I'm asking, but like I'm asking for a reason. There's a point that I want to get to.
Well, everybody has a reason for doing whatever the fuck it is that they do. And I don't knock a nigga for doing whatever the fuck it is that he do. Because it ain't impeding on what the hell it is that I'm doing. I'm over here minding my business. You over there minding your business. But we got to talk shit so we have content. The reality of it is, I really don't give a fuck. But the shit does seem a little unattractive at this point.
That's fair. But while we are talking shit, like obviously we do want to get insight. Like for you, like your biggest issue has always been like workflow in terms of you've never had a consistent one, especially not for like 3 months at a time per se. The most consistent you probably were was what, at Mercy?
Probably.
Speaking of, you should speak on that and give people some game about that.
What?
I said, speaking of, you should speak on that and give people some game about your process as far as like Mercy went and like your experience with that. I don't think people know anything about that.
Wasn't much to really talk about. Like
Shit.
while I was there, I made an EP and a couple of singles or whatever have you, and it was straight or whatever. In that time, I dabbled in production, so I guess there is something there. But in the same token, I never got around to making music the way that I always envisioned myself making music. Like the products would be cool or whatever have you, but I'm over it. At this point, I feel like I could make music that I could continue to listen to and enjoy thoroughly for a long time coming. That's why at this point, I really just want to make 2 projects. One that I might release, might not. The other one I would definitely release. And I think I could just call it quits after that.
Call it quits.
Yeah.
Westside Gunn put out an album every 3 months, and you want to call it quits after 2?
Yeah.
I think that's just because you don't enjoy the process. I think if you got in there and you enjoyed the process and you were doing it on a consistent basis and you know exactly what it is and how it is you would do it every time that you did it, I think you got more than 2 albums in you, honestly.
Oh, I definitely got more than 2 concepts.
More than 2 albums.
I got hella concepts. I got hella concepts. But you are partially right. It is like a process thing. I don't enjoy the process because I'm not involved in the process as much. And that's because, let me tell it, I just don't have the resources. But I don't know. It's not for me to.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
This past recording music and making music, do you really want to sell your music?
Different topic for a different podcast, if ever for the podcast.
I mean, at the bare minimum, your feelings on it. I'm saying we don't gotta give them the fucking juice or anything like that. But I feel like this sort of content for like the music people that listen to us is like interesting shit, because I don't think anybody ever really thinks about that when they think about, oh, I want to rap or oh, I want to make music. It's like, okay, do you just want to create music? Do you just want to compose, or do you really want to sell music and everything that comes with it?
Mixed are my feelings.
Your feelings are always mixed.
Not always.
Damn near always.
Not even damn near always. See, there you go again, lying and exaggerating.
Tell me an instance in which case you were hardline the entire time on something that you didn't absolutely hate.
Hardline on something that... So in other words, name something that I absolutely liked?
Name something that you absolutely like. Yes.
Because I was going to say, like, wait, what? Something that I absolutely like. I absolutely like ice cream.
This nigga eating ice cream.
You said name something that I absolutely like. That was the first thing that came to mind.
I like ice cream. How old are you? I'm talking about real life shit, not frozen treats, nigga. If I don't tell you everything you need to know, then
Jesus Christ. Something that I absolutely hardline liked. Black Dynamite. That was the shit. That movie will
Black
never get old
exploitation
to
films
me.
and ice cream, nigga.
Will you shut up?
Why I gotta? You said it. Why I gotta shut up? You said Black
Because you
Dynamite and
asked me
ice
a
cream, and I was just
question.
like, what?
You did not center nor focus the question. You said first you worded it weirdly and just a very complex way of saying name some shit you like. Okay, I like ice cream. I like ice cream, fam. I like pizza and ice cream. I wish it was my birthday today.
Pizza,
No,
ice
fuck
cream, and
that.
black exploitation films. See, this is why the black community.
Shut up.
This is why Candace Owens hates us.
No, what we need to talk about is the lack of. What we need to talk about is the lack of cake that I've seen while I'm in Korea. There's a lack of cake here.
Watch your mouth. First and foremost, watch your mouth. You're treading on dangerous territory. You're treading on dangerous territory.
No, fam. You know.
No,
See, now
I
you're trying
know.
to take this somewhere
I
else.
know
I'm not
what you're
talking
saying.
about
But be careful.
Fam, you're taking this somewhere else. I'm talking about how.
Are you sure?
Yes.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the fact. I feel like I brought this up before, and I hate if I'm bringing this back up again. Birthday is come and gone, and I still have not gone about getting myself a proper cake.
But you never have a proper cake on your birthday, though.
The fuck are you talking about?
When have you ever had a proper cake on your birthday?
Plenty of times. What the hell are you talking about?
Like,
okay, and I'll never forget this. My mom's coworker, she
wow,
made
your mom's
me
coworker. Whoa, John, I didn't know.
See, again, there you go, taking this place to say.
I didn't know you had it like that. Your mom's coworker.
That's exactly what
you sick.
That's exactly
monkey.
what the fuck I was talking about. That was exactly what the fuck I was talking about a few sentences ago.
But you knew where this was headed.
I'm gonna hit you. I'm going to hit you. Next time I see you, I'm going to violently lash out.
I'm not signing the Rock Nation though. Why you hate me?
Marble cake, man. Marble cake. I hate this. Anyone listening, in case you have not caught on already, like half of this podcast is the king of trolls. Like,
I didn't do nothing. We were talking about cake, and you were like, "Well, my mom's coworker," and I was just like, "Wow, John, that's inappropriate. Why would you do such a thing?"
I'm gonna strike you.
You can't. Your arms too short to box with God.
I'm gonna strike you.
You gotta go through Jay Electronica first, sir.
Jay Electronica can't save you.
Jay Electronica, you're the one who has an issue with him dropping the album, and I don't know why.
I don't have an issue with him dropping
thought
an
y'all
album.
was
What are
cool.
you talking about?
I thought you loved the first album. All right, I'm gonna stop.
No, I'm the one that hit the group chat talking about, is this your king?
I thought you enjoyed the album, John. Are you admitting now that you have an ongoing issue with the way that Jay Electronica does his music releases?
No.
Y'all released the same amount of albums in the same amount of time. Why you gotta get
No, again, as I stated before, I'm the one that hit the group chat like, is this your king? This the nigga y'all was excited for? I mean, I get it. Exhibit A and Exhibit C was the shit, but y'all was excited for this? Really? Off 2 songs? Really? 2 songs. Y'all had all this excitement for all this time. For this? Thank God I don't be buying into hype like the rest of you niggas.
But wait. Now slow down, Jonathan. Jay the Fourth.
Jay the Fourth.
I mean, Jay Electronica, Jay-Z, J. Cole, Jay the Fourth.
Okay. Okay. I was just making sure that I knew the other three J's that are being brought into this. Wait, is this episode going to be called Rock Nation and shit?
Nah. They're not paying us. The fuck?
Oh, okay.
The fuck? Hell no.
I was just curious. I had to ask in advance. Oh shit. Okay, but you were like, okay, wait. Okay, so wait for what?
Sir, as much dirt as you've thrown on the name of Jay Electronica following that album, I just want you to acknowledge that at the bare minimum, he didn't just get in front of a mic and start saying anything.
Oh, of course not. No, he didn't just get in front of a mic and just start saying any old thing. It sounded like that at certain points, but no, that's just because, like, you know, if you don't have certain knowledge of certain shit, then you know then you don't have the context. So that's not his fault. That's our fault for being fucking ignorant. No, but that's not what we wanted. That was not what we wanted.
We didn't necessarily want a Jay Electronica album with Jay-Z on 90% of the records. No. But we did want a Jay Electronica album. Also, we did want a Jay-Z album. Why is there an issue?
Is this not touted as it's not touted as a Jay Electronica Jay-Z album. Plus, this is Jay Electronica's first album. Am I correct? A Written Testimony is like his first album.
Yeah, something like that.
So why is his first album a collab album?
Why not? It's Jay-Z. It's not just a collab album. It's a collab album with Jay-Z.
Okay, and that's cool. I get that. I understand that. But I want to hear you. Like, again, the whole thing with Jay Electronica was he put out 2 records that were great, phenomenal records. But the part I didn't get is that we maintained this excitement for Jay Electronica for well over 10 years off of these 2 songs alone.
That's not true. It was more songs in between. Some of those songs appeared on that album. You forget that part?
I had never heard those songs.
That's because you're not a real backpacker. Turning your JanSport. Turning your JanSport, bro.
Whatever. Exhibit A and Exhibit C. Those were the 2 main things that were holding us over for
you let
well
Brooklyn
over
down, bro.
holding us over until A Written Testimony came out.
Nah.
This is your first album.
No. Here's the thing. Allegedly, the album he's releasing tonight was the album we were supposed to get in the first place.
See, that pisses me off.
Why does it piss you off?
Give us the album that we were supposed to get in the first place.
He never wanted it to come out. You ever think niggas just don't want to be judged?
I don't want to be judged neither, but guess
so
what?
You should be able to relate. Who can relate? We're going to get to logic later on.
Are we?
Maybe. We didn't talk about the album yet. We didn't talk about the album on the pod. We missed a lot of shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit that we could talk about. I don't know if we're going to talk about it all.
I don't want to keep on music super, super long, we're at the 35-minute mark. I feel like that's a good place to cut it short. And probably move on to like game shit. But I also feel like the majority of our music audience is also the game audience to begin with. So maybe we should just go into like some life shit. John, what is life like for John in Korea right now?
Leave me alone. Next topic. This thing has been trolling me all fucking 35 minutes of this shit. And he wants me to talk about life in Korea.
I mean, you're the Korea correspondent. Who else but you?
Just because you throw a cute little fancy word on the end of it, that does not mean correspondent. That does not mean that I am privy to talk about this. I already told you. We just had Chuseok. Happy Chuseok, everybody. My Chuseok was horrible.
What's Chuseok? Help us understand.
Oh, okay. So sorry about that. So Chuseok is basically like Thanksgiving, kind of, sort of. It's a few days. It's a few days at the,
because it would be culturally insensitive. I'm gonna shut the fuck
no,
up.
like
I'm going to shut the fuck up. I'm gonna let you get yours off, but I almost said something. I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
I get
Continue.
Okay, fair. All I'm saying is that to put it in perspective, in like a context that you might be able to understand, and I don't mean like the whole Pilgrim's history and smallpox and shit like that. I mean, it's a few days at the end of an autumn month, where families get together, they eat, and things of that nature. That's it. So I basically just spent my holiday here because restrictions, and I spent it thinking about shit that I had no business thinking about. But what the fuck else was I supposed to do?
Rap.
Don't even attempt to answer that question.
I got like 8 answers immediately.
Okay, you will withhold all 8 of them bitches.
All right. Since I'm withholding my answers for your question, don't ask no more goddamn questions that you know I got the answers to. How about that? Did you think about that?
But then we won't really be having a conversation. Then where's the content? Okay, I guess fuck it. You know what? You raise a point. We need content. So go ahead. Give me those 8 things that I could have been doing. Did you say rap earlier? No, did you say rap?
That was one of them, yeah.
Well, actually, I did write a little bit. I wrote. I didn't like what I was writing, but it was productive. It was productive in a way. It's helping me progress with what I'm trying to work on. So I guess there was some benefit in it. I'm trying to see the silver lining and shit. But yeah. So I did actually do that a little bit. But what are the other 7 things?
We're not
Don't say play video games. Wait, what?
I would never tell you video games. You said, first of all, you're not that good at them.
Damn.
I'm just look. Have you beat Dark Souls 1?
Fuck Dark Souls. Anyways.
Have you beat Demon Souls?
Fuck them. Anything with Souls.
Have you beat Metal Gear Solid? Any of them?
Well, I can't beat a game I haven't played.
Do you see where I'm going with this?
No.
I hope everybody at home sees where I'm going with it. Have you beat Mario,
Red Dead
nigga?
Redemption 2 yet? Did you beat Red Dead Redemption 2 yet?
No, a Rockstar game. How do you beat a Rockstar?
It doesn't matter.
How do you beat a Rockstar game? Help me understand that. It's just since you know every fucking thing.
You play
These
through the
niggas
fucking
release
story.
content packs every 2 weeks. How the fuck do you beat the game?
What?
These niggas release content packs every other week. How the fuck do you beat a Rockstar game? They've been releasing shit for GTA 5 since before I could fucking drink legally.
That's hilarious, fam. You play through the story. Did you play through the story?
Did I play through the story? Those aren't difficult to
Yeah.
beat. It's just a lot of shit that I don't want to do, surrounded by a bunch of shit I do want to do that makes sure that I never get back to doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Okay, that's cool. That's fine. Whatever. That ain't got shit to do with shit though. Really, I'm not good at games. Really?
Name, what game are you best at?
What game am I best at?
Yes.
Nigga, I don't know.
There we go.
What the fuck are you talking? I need.
You don't know what your best
need an
game is, so how can you be good at games? You don't even know what your best game is.
The game I can beat you in. How about that?
That's practically any fighting game. I barely get any practice with fighting games, so I just don't care. Because the majority of the time, we're not playing on the same screen. We're not playing with the same controller, blah, blah, blah. On top of that, we simply haven't invested enough time in the genre. I don't be knowing the characters. Every time somebody want to play me in one of those games, it's a new-ass game, not an old-ass game where I have muscle memory developed for it already. I don't have no muscle memory for these games. But I'll mop you in Halo. I'll mop the majority of the population in Halo.
Okay, that's cool. That's fine. So are you good at games?
Excellent. I just said I'll mop the majority of the nation in Halo. I wasn't exaggerating.
Okay, nigga. Whatever.
Unless you in like
Continue.
the top 10% of players of Halo, I'm mopping you up. Like, if you're not pro or enthusiast, like just under pro level, I'm getting you clean the fuck out of here in Halo. That's just what it is.
Okay. Okay, whatever, nigga. Continue.
Anyway, no, I mean, like I said, I can think of a bunch of shit that you should have been thinking about instead of what it is you were actually thinking about. We don't got to go in depth about it, and we should definitely consider, or we should at the bare minimum consider how much worse it could be, despite the setbacks that you're currently experiencing. Like I said, the whole world is in the shitter. Fucking Trump is got COVID, and niggas are speculating whether or not he really got COVID. They speculating whether or not he gonna die from it and is really severe. Like, niggas are, it's gross. Like, you seen the post that we put up. I'll read some of the posts for people who haven't seen it. Let me find this fucking shit, bro.
Ooh. I got him already.
I have to find them because I'm about to read them, nigga. God damn.
I'm just saying, do you want me to read them?
No. I would have asked you. Anyway.
Why do you hate me today?
I don't hate you today. I just wanted to read them myself.
No, you being real spiteful. How am I being spiteful? You saying I hate Rock Nation? You
made it very clear that you have a problem with Rock Nation.
No, you saying that
I didn't know it's a pattern until we got to like the third artist, and I'm like, all right, dog, what are you doing?
Fuck that. And then you got the nerve to tell me that since 4 years old I've been trash at fucking video games. Wow, nigga.
Since 4 years old? Nah, nigga, since birth. You came out the womb with bad hands. You came out the womb running in sticks.
You're a wicked fucking soul.
Remember where you got to run the sticks after you.
You really know how to hurt your friends. I just want you to know that. I want you to know that you really know how to hurt your friends.
Niggas know that I'm not remotely fucking serious. I don't even have the Carfax on half the shit that I'm saying.
Oh, nigga. No, my soul is tarnished. Did
Anyway,
you find it?
yeah, I found it,
Okay.
nigga. So, Hollywood producer and star Ava DuVernay said had this
Oh
to
shit.
say had this to say about the
Oh
alleged
god.
Trump coronavirus infection. And I
Dog.
quote, I truly hope you get well as you're infected with a life threatening virus and are physically ill. Also, you are a
Mm.
disgrace and a liar. You cost hundreds of thousands their lives. And you're a white supremacist. Get well. Sincerely. And after that, we're going to vote you out. What the fuck is like? Why are you tweeting at a nigga in the hospital? I don't get it. Like, I get it, but I don't get it. I get, like, obviously her and a bunch of other people have been, like, vapid in the Trump hate, which I get. I'm not saying don't hate Trump, but the methods in which you're using to express that hate are oftentimes corny as a bitch. This is mad fucking corny. Regardless of how you feel about him, you're tweeting this nigga while he's in the hospital. He can't read none of this shit. But maybe he is because he's just that much of a dickhead. I don't even know. That's the worst thing about the Trump presidency. This nigga's fucking crazy, and he's bringing the crazy out of everybody else too. And it's just like, I don't know who's worse anymore. Because I don't see him, but I see everyone. And everyone is just made to be foaming at the mouth when it comes to him. And it's old now. Let's go to the next one. This Virgin Trump versus the Chad Berg Hamdov. Can't even get. I know how to say Turkmenistan, so I'm gonna say that Turkmenistan's leader does donuts next to flaming crater to prove he's not dead. First and foremost, I feel like this is a troll post and is an actual shit post, which is what we're all about. So I'm with it. And it's right next to Trump briefly leaves hospital to drive by greeting to supporters gathered outside medical center, which is also fucking nuts. But at the same time, why the fuck not?
Mm-hmm.
If you're showing up to support Trump and he decides to do a motorcade parade down the block, is that not on brand? I feel like that's on brand.
It is.
I feel like that's on brand in terms of like what we expect from not only his supporters but of him as well. It's fucking weird to be outside the hospital, but it's also such on brand for Trump to, even despite the fact having a life-threatening virus, to be doing a fucking parade outside the hospital where he's staying. How did we get here? Right. Who let 2020 in the house? Get this motherfucker out the house. Oh my god. I hate every second of this shit, honestly. I really do, because I do such a good job of ignoring him. But again, he's such a polarizing figure. He makes the rest of the fucking world crazy. So I either have to block the entire fucking planet. I either have to block the entire fucking planet to avoid him, or I just gotta just live with the fact that periodically my entire shit is gonna be disrupted. Why?
I don't know what to tell you.
Why? How did we get here?
I really do wish I could help you.
I was one of those people when he was first running, like, oh man, this nigga's gonna win because people can't shut the fuck up. And here we are, like, how many years later? Like 6, 7 years later, when you count for like the early stages of his campaign and when he was first like starting to wild out for real. And this nigga still hasn't shut up. And people just keep getting louder like it's going to shout him down. And I don't understand the logic. You're not going to shout down the crazy nigga. It's not going to work. Everybody's wasting their energy. And they're making themselves look fucking ridiculous. Ava DuVernay is more intelligent and talented than to be tweeting at a nigga in the hospital. That we're gonna vote him out, especially when the polls don't show that's a great fucking chance right now. I honestly hope he gets voted out, but I don't have 100% confidence. I don't have enough confidence between this nigga in the hospital so I can cash shit. I honestly don't. Like, even if I did hate him that much to the point that I was on shit like that, which I would never be. No matter who it is that I dislike, I don't even bring him up in conversation. And you've been...
Right.
You all right? What the hell was that?
Yeah. What?
I don't know. You made a lot of... it was a grunt. It was having some respiratory issues.
Nigga, what?
Look, I'm just looking out for your health.
I said right. That was all I said.
I heard a grunt. Maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah, you are.
Well, so
we haven't. Wait. How long have we been running this?
Moving along, nigga.
No. How long? How far into this podcast have we been talking?
We closing in on an hour now.
So closing in on an hour, we haven't established that you batshit crazy. You think that you're really batshit crazy?
John,
you don't think that we haven't established that already?
John, we established that 12 years ago, buddy.
I'm talking about for the people who are listening to this.
I feel like that's been established at least 5 episodes ago at the bare minimum.
Okay, good. As long as we're on the same page.
If they're still listening at this point and they haven't got the picture, I don't even know what to tell them.
Okay, just good, excellent. As long as we're all on the same page.
We've been on the same page. Anyway, back to fucking Trump. Decided to have a fucking motor fucking parade outside the hospital. That shit is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know what the fuck was said here. What was said here from Father V or some shit?
I bet the headline would be, quote, Trump drives by supporters without condemning white supremacy, end quote.
Which is hilarious if you have the context. I'm not sure how much of the shit you've been paying attention to, but for some reason, niggas really think like, oh, if we call him a white supremacist, that will help defeat him. Nigga, what? What? Why do you think that will hurt his campaign at all? Do you really think anybody saw any of this shit happen and thought to themselves like, yo, maybe if we tell everybody he's evil, if we tell everybody he's wicked, maybe that will change their votes. Dog, that's not going to change nothing. They know exactly what the fuck they bought. Yeah. Majority of people voting for Trump don't give a fuck if he's a white supremacist, if he's a white anti-white, if he's anti-Irish, anti-Semitic. They don't really give a fuck. They're all in on this shit already, bro. You're not going to... Who are you saying all this shit for? Us? We already don't like this nigga. There's nothing you can say that's going to make it any better.
I think the semi sort of kind of brings us back to a conversation that we had on one of the first podcasts that me and you did. In which I asked you, what is the purpose of voting when there's an electoral college that makes the ultimate decision at the end of the day? Because in my brain, in my fucked up brain, what I'm thinking is, the whole nation could vote one way, and the electoral college will vote the completely different direction.
That's not really how it works, but yes. hypothetically, maybe in topsy-turvy, what the fuck land, yes.
Right. It's not impossible.
I would say that it's so far gone that it is impossible.
We've seen like so much crazy shit.
The shit we've seen by scale is not nearly as crazy as that would be. Like, if somebody won the majority in every state in the electoral college went the opposite direction, that has literally never happened in history.
And the likelihood of it happening, you're right, is it wouldn't happen. I know that. It's never happened, and it probably never will happen. But in the same token, just indulge me. Mm-hmm. If one day that did happen, it wouldn't surprise me.
It should, because at that point we got a lot of fucking questions to ask about everything.
You mean like the same questions that I've been asking?
No, we have real questions to start asking.
Like what?
Because at that point, that's like, oh shit, we're under attack. Because if everybody voted the opposite way of the people that elected them in the first place, that means they don't want their job anymore. Right? Because the whole thing about the Electoral College is not some shadow, secretly Illuminati organization. No, you get electoral votes based on the amount of representatives and senators you have per the state, which are elected by the people. So if the people elected these people, and then these people vote the opposite way of what the majority of the people who voted for them voted, that's career suicide. That's something that only happens in cases where there's some sort of fucking agency shit happening. I feel like.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's not unheard of for like one or two people to vote a different way, especially like in the primaries. Because like that's kind of what happened with the superdelegate situation out the gate with like Hillary and Bernie when Trump got elected. All the superdelegates from day one were already like, we're casting our ballot for Hillary. We don't really give a fuck, et cetera, et cetera. So it was places where, you know, the race was really fucking close. And the same shit kind of happened with Biden a couple of times as well, if I'm not mistaken, where it's like, okay, the races are really close, but we're going to go with the person that the DNC already endorsed. Right? Well,
okay.
It's not, that part isn't unheard of. But for the people of the United States as a whole to overwhelmingly vote for somebody else across all state lines, and every single one of those people decides, nah, we go another direction. That reeks of some sort of fucking insurrection, alien body snatcher bullshit. If you truly understand how it all works, because that would make no logical sense whatsoever. If that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I get that. No.
So
I knew that what I was saying, like it would never happen just on the idea of like every state being one color or whatever have you. I'm just some theoretical shit.
It is what it is with that. I mean,
we
can speculate all day, but at the end of the day,
fucking with the concept.
I get it. We can speculate all day, but at the end of the day, if the Democrats aren't able to flip some of the states that they lost back, in addition to flipping some new states that they never flipped before, probably, they're fucked. And that's just what it is. They're fucked. There's nothing else to talk about. To put it bluntly, I don't have full confidence in them. I don't think they have full confidence in themselves. I don't think they have full confidence in the candidate they chose. I think a lot of their bill is riding on the fact that people are excited symbolically about Kamala Harris. But I think the vast majority of people have no fucking idea who Kamala Harris is. They don't know how she would behave under pressure. They don't know how good she would be at getting bipartisan bills through or bipartisan initiatives started. Like, we don't have any clue. It's not to say that she can't, but we don't actually know what it looks like. And so much is riding on the hope that she would have the support necessary, but we hoped that Obama would, and majority of the time he didn't. I'm not sure if you were old enough to remember, Jonathan, but Obama got cop blocked a lot. Within that also, he had some shit policies. I think everybody has been pretty critical of his foreign policy record, now that the rose-tinted glasses are off. I feel like a lot of people have questions about what it is he was and wasn't capable of, despite the fact that that office and the power that office holds strikes such fucking fear into them now, where it's like, Ruth Bader Ginsburg dies. R.I.P. to her. Lifelong champion of things that she really believed in, that helped a tremendous amount of people, both oppressed, both young, old, but I don't know why it is always that whenever there is a Democrat in office, it feels like there's such a fragility to it. There's such a fragile balance that they have to strike, or it feels as though there's such a You all right?
Yeah.
You don't hear the playback and you don't know exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm not going to sound crazy no more. Anyway. Anyway, it always feels like the office of the presidency is such a fragile thing, and that these elections are such fragile things whenever the Democrats win, where it's like, oh no, we got to maintain, guys, because if we don't, they'll win. And if they win, they'll reverse everything we did, even though we can't do anything. And every single time I'm just like, what the fuck? What do you mean? Just do that shit. If you're doing the shit and it's working, then what the fuck is the problem? If you're worried about re-electing somebody on your side again the very next time, then we got to rethink the entire political system at this point. Because it should never be about, oh, the world is going to fucking end if the other political party who doesn't agree with us gets elected. And as much as people want to try to put like as much as people try to put like a Klan hood on Trump, everything he does isn't necessarily in line with like anything the Klan would want, outside of the fact that the Klan has been using it for like publicity for a while. Despite the fact, he's hanging out with David Duke. We haven't seen David Duke do really anything, have we? Have you? I ain't seen David Duke in a long ass time.
Don't ask me.
Don't ask you, why not?
Because I don't see a whole lot of shit. Don't just.
That's the thing. You niggas don't be paying attention. I be paying attention. I don't see David Duke doing shit. And okay, that's kind of my point about like. But that's my point about like the PR around an election. The Democrats are always like, no, look who he's around. These evil people. No, they're ignorant. You're being ignorant. No, we're not gonna. We can't win unless we bring it all together, guys. If we don't win, the racists are gonna win. Like, what? Nigga, pay these niggas the money so that they fucking flip or something, dog. Money talks, force talks. Either exterminate these niggas or pay them.
Okay, time out. Relax. Calm down.
I'm tired of it.
Time out.
I'm tired of it.
No, time out. Time out. Interjection time. I would like to interject here. Okay. Why would I pay attention to bullshit when I know that it's just bullshit? To me, this is all bullshit.
To you, it's all bullshit, but it's all important to know. There's a difference between like not listening to it because it's bullshit and not knowing how to find it when you need it.
When will I ever need bullshit?
When will you ever need information? All the fucking time. What you discern to be bullshit of the information that you take in is a totally different story. Because keep in mind, you said it's all bullshit to me. It's important to know what your enemy is doing, no? Like, that's half the fucking battle of anything, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
You have a point.
yeah, it's bullshit, but it's important to know what people are doing. My issue with the Trump oversaturation thing is not that I don't ever want to see what's going on with Trump. It's just that I always know what this nigga's doing every second of the fucking day. And I hate that shit. I shouldn't know. No matter where the fuck I go, it's somebody clocking it. It's somebody clocking what he's doing, who he's doing it with, how it's getting done, who paid for it, who didn't pay for it, who put in, who didn't put in, who did Melania eyebrows or some stupid shit like that. Bro, I don't care about none of that shit. That shit I don't care about. But it is important to know what the fuck, like, the strategy is coming up into the election cycle. What things that are coming down the pipeline as far as policy. And it's important to know how to get all of that and wade through the trash to get to it. But my problem is I don't even have to wade through it because every 5 seconds, Twitter is sending a unsolicited fucking push notification to my phone about what the fuck Trump got going on. And I don't fucking care 9 times out of 10 because that usually is bullshit. It's not that I don't want them to send vital information. It's just that they send every fucking thing. Oh, this nigga had tuna salad on a Tuesday, and that tuna came from Mexico. I bet he didn't know that. Ooh, he's so racist, but he eat Mexican tuna. Ooh, like, bro, shut your bitch ass up. Like, shut up. I don't care. Y'all always want to gotcha this nigga. He's not reading your tweets. He don't give a fuck about your tweet. After this nigga's out of office, he's still gonna be a fucking billionaire. You're never gonna be in the same room as him. And that's not like, oh, like, don't say anything. No, we should be talking about, like, the fuck shit going on. But y'all be talking about everything this nigga does like a jealous ex-girlfriend. And I don't like that shit.
Wow.
Oh, that nigga got on a suit. But he don't know. All his suits and all his ties is made in China. And he be talking shit about China. Ooh. Shut the fuck up, my nigga. He knows that shit. He looked at the cost of how much it would make, of how much it would take to sell to break even if he made them bitches in China versus the US versus Singapore versus Pakistan versus India. Like, all that shit is already accounted for. He knows where the fuck the shit's coming from. He's still racist. A oil baron don't give a fuck where the oil is from, my nigga. He gonna come through. He gonna burn all that shit up. And he gonna take that shit back where he can sell it at. Don't give a fuck. Conquerors and monsters don't give a fuck that you feel a way about what it is they're doing. They only give a fuck if you can stop them or not. And if you can't stop them, then stop writing little bitch ass passive aggressive tweets that aren't doing anything. You wishing death on this nigga, which I completely understand and is completely within the like, that's the game at the end of the day. He's wished horrible shit on people. He's said horrible shit about people. But at the same time, again, I can just mute this nigga. I can't mute all 80,000 of you niggas who think your jokes about him dying are funny. When the majority of them are not. They're not. Y'all don't have any edge. Y'all shit don't have no teeth. Y'all be saying shit like, oh, I guess the pussy grabbed back. Like, bro, just. I guess it's not an imaginary disease anymore.
Okay.
That's
Can we?
that's the silence. That's the air that every single one of those tweets takes out the room whenever I'm in it.
Okay.
I sincerely
Fam.
dislike that shit. It's like, nah, please at least be funny if you're gonna wish death on a nigga. At least be genuinely funny. Like everybody's just kind of, it's a circle jerk. Y'all are circle jerking over what you hope is gonna be his casket, and it's gross.
Yeah, when you put it that way, yeah, it's nasty as hell.
Like, yeah, good burn. Like, you niggas are only hyping each other up. This nigga's in the hospital. He can't see nothing.
I have a question piggybacking on what you're saying. If it's just a simple yes no, is most of meme culture just stupid and corny?
um, like with most shit in the world, I feel like if everybody can do it, then a huge portion of people are gonna be doing it. And if a huge portion of people are doing anything, the chances of me walking into a room and just running into one of those people who is terrible at it is exponentially higher than if it's anything else that requires a certain level of skill. And all right, we had to take a little break, y'all. We back though. John cut out of
Right.
it. Anyway, but no, like it's always gonna be, it's always gonna be like a bunch of trash niggas if there's a bunch of niggas. Period. That's with rap. That's with shit sports. That's with gaming in general. The more people are doing something, the more trash people you're gonna see. So the perception of it is gonna be that it's ass or that it's mid just because there's so many people ass or mid doing it. Um, people doing shit at a high level is rare to see, which is why it's always a big ass spectacle whenever it's happening. You know, like we don't see a bunch of mid ass gymnasts. We see Simone. We don't see a bunch of or know about a bunch of mid ass tennis players. It's always like Venus or Serena. Niggas talk about LeBron all fucking day, but you don't hear nothing about whoever the sixth man in fucking I don't know what's a B league team. Oh, the Pistons. Who's the sixth man on the Pistons? Who's the person off the bench who's gonna be able to come in clutch?
Fam, I'm not touching this. I still love my Pistons. Continue.
We still got D Rose and shit, right?
Yes, we still got D Rose.
Yeah. Pistons lineup look crazy. Like every time I look up, it's some niggas out here recognize.
Do you follow the Pistons?
Bro, we know damn well I haven't followed the Pistons since like 2004.
That's why. So continue. Don't
Shut up,
don't
nigga,
say
that's not the
obvious.
point.
Don't say obvious shit.
I said what I said. In any case, but no, meme culture or like viral culture, anything that is a culture is gonna have more trash shit than good shit. There's always gonna be way more McDonald's than there are Coney Islands, right? Right.
Yeah.
There's always gonna be way more Taco
Yeah.
Bells than like actual taquerias, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying as far as like the perception is always going to be what the majority is, and the majority almost always is going to be mid to trash level shit, which is why we only ever talk about like the cream of the crop shit. Like the NBA is not the only basketball association, but it's the only one that gets broadcast nationwide, right? Like when's the
Right.
last time we seen and one on TV? Have we ever seen? I'm not trying to be funny or knock it, but I'm just saying.
No, I can't remember the last time. I mean, I'm sure and1 was on TV at some point, but like that was very short lived. I'm sure of it.
Within that, like LeVar Ball got his little league, and just in general, like it's multiple leagues of every sport all over the country. But like even when we talk about like what we're losing as a consequence of COVID, like those lower leagues were never really talked about. Like niggas wasn't depressed because Little League wasn't gonna have a season. They was depressed because it looked like the MLB wasn't gonna have a season. I'm not gonna get to see the Rangers this year. This is some bullshit. Some goddamn cockamamie bullshit. Not wearing a goddamn mask. It's all scam. It's all a big fucking scam. It's only because the Yankees are doing terrible. Like, I love like the people who always like are blaming.
I see what you did. I see what you did there too. By the way, bringing Texas back into this shit. Leave Texas alone. Man. Leave Texas alone. Leave Texas alone.
I ain't say nothing about Texas. It's not only Texas who are Rangers fans. I wasn't even gonna bring Meg back up. I talk about what Bun doing before I'm talking about what Meg is doing. Speaking of Texas, though, while we on the subject, have we seen Scarface out ever since he got sick early this year?
No, not that I know of. Do we have any word on like the election he was running for? I think he was running for like city council.
I think all of that.
Do we have any word on that?
I think all of that shit is like along with the November elections, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
One second. God damn. Anyway, no, like I think that's this fall that's gonna happen. But I could be wrong. Either way, we should look that up and probably bring that up on the next pod because obviously, you know, that was something that a lot of people put a lot of energy and time into. And you know, it's dope. It's dope to see somebody who is well respected in Texas getting like support from everywhere to bring about something that we hope to be you know, meaningful for the people there and life altering for the people there. So that'd be dope.
Right.
I think we got to see a lot more of like the human side of rappers as entertainers because a lot of people get caught up in like, because even Westside Gunn had got COVID early this year and like kept it to himself because I feel like, and this goes back to our previous conversation, the majority of people, especially black men, don't feel like our vulnerability or our sickness or our health is anybody's care or priority, so we don't really talk about it.
Right.
I feel like if you replace Westside Gunn with anybody that people literally care about every single heart palpitation that they might have, and I'm not going to mention any names, but we can probably point out 3 or 4. Like if they had gotten COVID, it would be a whole different story about like the way it's perceived and the way that people are kind of interacting with the outside world while all this shit is going on. Like it's not a joke. Like I think today was like the biggest surge of new cases since like March or some shit or April. Like today, literally. As we're recording this. I think that people stopped taking it seriously, which is a big fucking no-no. That's definitely going to cause some real problems in the future. And I am trying my best to stay my ass at home, but like I'm also trying to just be responsible and kind of live with this shit a little bit. I don't want there to be a big gigantic ghost or specter over me every time that I leave the house.
That being said, we would like to take this time to remind everybody, as you used to do, wear your fucking mask.
Please wear your fucking mask everywhere that you go. Please don't get in anybody's face if you can help it. please keep all talking, uh, uh, exhaling activities involved. Like niggas are still at the hookah spots, and I don't understand. Hookah spots still wide open. I don't understand. Like I can understand niggas going somewhere and drinking outside, but dog, you're going to the hookah spot. That's it's a respiratory illness. I feel like I shouldn't have to keep saying this. It's probably the worst fucking idea you could possibly have considering the circumstances. Oh man. Anyway, um, anything else we need to touch on as far as like life shit? Are we gonna get to video game shit now?
Yeah, we can get to video game shit now.
All right. So,
Although I don't know if I want to, because apparently I'm trash. Like I don't.
look, everybody's trash at something. You play fighting games really good. I'm terrible at fighting games, but I whoop your ass in Halo. I whoop your ass, your brother ass, everybody in your family tree ass in Halo, and that's just what it is.
I don't know. I don't feel like I'm good enough to even be on this subject. I don't know. Like you pretty much just.
Either way,
I'm not good enough to be carried. You said I'm not good enough to carry this conversation.
Anyway, let's get to the memes first. I seen the meme that said, I noticed it wasn't a meme.
Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
You all right? You need a moment?
I'm good.
You sure?
I promise you I'm good.
Either way. So I seen the meme that says some shit along the lines of I don't see any jokes about or any memes about people having their girl buy them an Xbox. I guess that's because all the PlayStation niggas the ones that's broke, and I just
yeah, I saw you post that one.
It wasn't funny. But just considering like the fervor around, like it got weird. I don't know where it came from as far as like the meme of, oh, your girl didn't buy you a PS5. Like, first of all, it's reductive because who's to say your girl don't want to play on a PS5 and not buying her own self a PS5? Beyond that, like, I don't know. Like, we all know like the core tenets of how to go viral. Say some shit about your ex. Say some shit about the opposite sex. Say some shit about how, I don't know, like shitty of a person you are in a relatable way. Like those are kind of the core tenets of viral shit. Which is why it shouldn't surprise me that like the big viral moment is your girlfriend gonna buy you a PS5? Like, first and foremost, I don't think that the first PS5 oh, excuse me. I don't think that the first PS5 out the gate is going to be the PS5 you want in the first place if you know anything about video game history. If you know anything about console releases, you don't want that first box, dog. Save that shit for like the kids and the people with a bunch of fucking money. Don't even waste your time with the first fucking box. First box is going to be trash. First PS4, spitting out the disc while you playing. Fucking first Xbox got fucking barely 720p performance because they want to put the world's most advanced webcam on that bitch. Like, bro, Skyping from my Xbox was kind of cool like 3 times. But don't sacrifice the internals and performance because you think that niggas really want shaky at best motion controls that work sometimes but not all the time. I will say that I do miss the snap feature where you could like watch some shit while you playing a game on the same screen. That was really fucking dope, and then they removed it. PlayStation could never. And that's getting to my next kind of bag about all of this shit. Despite, brand loyalty but we got Spider-Man, like Spider-Man and God of War, like, bro. As somebody who had both consoles this generation, at two different points with multiple SKUs who's examined like the differences in the OS across time for both boxes. Without a doubt, there were some moments where they were like neck and neck with like the pluses and minuses. But overall, Xbox has always had better software than PlayStation when it comes to like usability shit.
Okay.
I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. And as much shit as Xbox has deservedly got this console cycle, I feel like that's kind of made people put on blinders to the current bullshit with the PlayStation box. Because I have a whole fucking list of just like non-negotiable, utterly just what the fuck bullshit with the PS5 up to this point. First thing, the controllers are not going to work for all the games for PS4 and the PS5. That's stupid as shit. There's literally no difference between the controllers. They're both fucking Bluetooth. There's no extra buttons. What the fuck? Issue number 2, backwards compatibility. It's going to work with some PS4 games, but not all. What the fuck? Next thing, the storage. This shit got 800 gigabytes of storage on it. Standard. Nigga, what the fuck? How it got less storage than the console before it? John, answer these questions. PlayStation stand.
I'm not a PlayStation. I'm
You're
a fan of PlayStation.
You're the
but I'm not a stan.
in this argument. You're the PlayStation stand because I have to be the Xbox stand because I'm tearing down PlayStation.
Do I have to?
You have to. Those are the rules.
Fuck the rules. I have money.
No, you don't.
As Seto Kaiba abridged once says, as Seto Kaiba abridged once said, "Screw the rules. I have money." Now, I have no answer for this. All I know is that I agree with you. I would never buy a console at launch. That's fucking stupid. Don't do that shit.
But custom SSD. Their SSD is custom.
Okay.
Aren't you happy about your custom SSD?
No.
With less than a terabyte of memory.
No.
Your custom PlayStation top secret architecture. Bro, if Xbox was doing this shit, niggas would be roasting the fuck out of Xbox. PlayStation getting away with some dumb shit. They gave you less storage than the last console they came out with, right? They're giving you a new controller that's not really a new controller, but it's the only way you're gonna be able to play games on the new console with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Help me understand. How does any of this make sense?
I don't know. I'm not into video game design. I kind of wish I was. Kind of.
It's not really designed though. Like these things are basically like really specific computers and their architecture. Sony has never built incredible computers per se, which is why I don't understand why people think like the console is better because you enjoy the games better. The console has only been better than its competition one time, and that was PS4 out the gate. And then it got lapped again. Right? So.
Okay.
Because if you think about PlayStation, one, the advantage it had over cartridges in N64 were the fact that it had discs, and discs were significantly cheaper and could hold more for less money overall when you stop to think about the cost of production and shit like that. PlayStation 2 um wasn't necessarily that much more powerful than GameCube and was definitely not more powerful than Xbox, right?
Okay.
So 360 comes out and the PlayStation 3 is still running the same games from that generation much worse than Xbox, right? PlayStation 4 comes around and they kind of put a hell of a twist on everything because you now have this situation where for the first time PlayStation literally has the most powerful console of the generation. And like it's not close. But then that mid-generation refresh happens and you get the One X, which basically blew the PlayStation Pro out the water across the board. Right?
Okay.
I don't know where along the lines of that people got it in their heads that PlayStation makes the better console versus PlayStation has the rights to better games. Because they definitely don't make the better console. If you look at damn near every controller, every like pro controller or like aftermarket controller that of note, they all look like the Xbox controller. They don't look like the PlayStation controller. Even the PlayStation controller I got looks like an Xbox controller in terms of it being asymmetrical with
asymmetrical.
Yeah. The Nintendo Switch Pro controller is also asymmetrical. Looks exactly like a really nice, smaller Xbox controller, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is it that possesses niggas to make them think like PlayStation historically has ever had the better console? Is it just that? When people are it just that conflation with the games that they prefer?
That's probably it. I mean, that's what it is for me. I prefer the system that allows me to play, certain games that I would not be able to play on other platforms. I don't ever want to risk the chance to not ever play God of War. Bottom line. Sorry. I just like that series too much.
But you're an adult, John.
What does that have to do with anything? What point are you getting at?
We're
Please
all
spit it out.
now. We all can get both consoles, hypothetically. It seems
okay,
to
yes.
me... Hold on, nigga. Hold up. Damn. You got your God of War shit off. I'm saying it seems like niggas literally are buying a PlayStation just for God of War and Spider-Man. And that's pretty much it.
Well, with me, it's deeper than that. Like for me, it's a bigger selection than that.
You don't play Dark Souls, and Dark Souls is cross-platform now. To put it in perspective, Demon Souls was a PS3 exclusive, which was the first Souls game. But yeah, like, what is it? Is God of War really that fucking good? Because the shit's kind of like, I don't know.
For me, it is. For me, it is. We'll leave it at that. We can leave it at that. Look, I understand at this point that we just have differing ideas on shit. I get that.
Are we having different ideas though?
Like, I don't
you
know.
Admit nigga, slow down. God damn, God of War making you aggressive.
Here you go, lying again.
Where's the God to chill at? Anyway,
what I'm saying is,
hold on. What I'm saying is, I think going into the next cycle, Sony has a lot of shit holding it back that people aren't really admitting to. Like with the censorship shit, that's kind of shitty. overall. Like, I get for some people it's JRPGs. You don't really give too much of a fuck about JRPGs. But like the whole reason Xbox doesn't have Final Fantasy 16 is because they signed an exclusive license with Sony again for some reason. And it's like, for what? Like, niggas enjoy it over here too. Like, Dragon Quest is on Xbox for the first time. You got Final Fantasy 7 on Xbox, but not the remake. And on PC and Steam and shit. You got Persona 4 on PC. You got Horizon on PC. You got Death Stranding on PC now. I think that Sony has painted itself into a God of War box. And I don't think people are being as transparent about that as they probably should. As far as like the conversation at the bare minimum. Like, people are going to like what they like. I'm not telling them not to like what they like. But I think there's a lot to be said about the negatives about PlayStation 5 that people aren't really going to acknowledge until they get it and they don't get their God of War immediately. And then they're going to be like, oh, I wasted my fucking money.
In which you shouldn't be buying consoles at launch, period. I don't give a fuck what system it is.
But, like, I know some games are going to get upgrades, but that's the other thing about Sony. They're not going to allow backwards compatibility and upgrades for the vast majority of games, so they're not making the majority of games backwards compatible, and you won't be able to play them with a PS5 controller. You'll need a PS4 controller to do it. That's fucking crazy. If that's true, keep in mind, all this shit is speculation, and all of this shit I believe is changeable through a firmware or software update. But if it ain't, you still gonna buy the PS5 just for God of War?
No.
If you know for a fact, I'm just saying, if we know for a fact Xbox has the better hardware, has the better backwards compatibility, has the better overall online infrastructure, better value overall if we're talking Game Pass, including the ability to play shit practically anywhere through xCloud. Is God of War and Spider-Man really trumping that?
Depends on who you ask.
Nigga, I said really, not in anybody's opinion. I said really, as in objectively speaking.
Objectively, okay, if we're just speaking objectively, no. 2 games just doesn't do that if we're speaking objectively. No.
And like shit, I'll give you the Demon Souls remake and I'll give you Final Fantasy 16. Even though Final Fantasy 16 is probably going to be some mid, because quiet as kept, Final Fantasy 7 remake was kind of mid. 15 was mid. Like, Final Fantasy hasn't been great for a very long time. The beauty of Sony is that it gets things that are really pretty to look at out the gate, so it makes for amazing presentations. But the games should be mid when you get them. And that's what confuses me more about, like, when people are like dead ass Sony stands. Because Last of Us 2 looks amazing and then pissed off the entire fucking planet. It pissed off the entire world in one capacity or another. When people actually got around to play it. Am I wrong?
You're
Uncharted
right. We're continuing now.
Uncharted
You're right. But
go ahead.
You're right, but we're just going to keep going. Continue. Uncharted
went out with kind of a whimper. Right? Like, it didn't go out with the best Uncharted game. It went out with probably the okayest Uncharted game. As far as, like, if you stack them all together and you really look at the strengths and weaknesses of all 4 games, or 5 games if you count mobile. Maybe more if we count DLC and side stories.
I thought you were talking about the spin-off game that they released after 4.
See, I don't even know. And Naughty Dog good for that too. They'll come out with a game and then come out with a super secret DLC that's built on the same engine. But Naughty Dog is good for that. Anyway, but like Crash Bandicoot's on Xbox too now.
Mm-hmm.
So like increasingly more, it looks like there's everything to gain for Microsoft and everything to lose for Sony. But even if you go past the hardware, if you look at just the software historically speaking, have you ever played side by side with an Xbox and a PS4? I think if the vast majority of people did, they will understand that the experience as far as the OS and how to access shit and how to do things is vastly superior over on Xbox. The way that you can launch shit on Xbox is just so much faster than PlayStation. So much so that like the updates we're getting get closer and closer to the Xbox software. Like that little fan shit when you hold down the button and all of that, like that was Xbox. When you hold down like the PlayStation button and all those options pop up and from the left side, like that's all Xbox shit. I don't know. I wouldn't say that I'm a bigger Xbox fan than Sony fan, but I can say as somebody who has both consoles and like I said, has had multiple versions of this generation's consoles on both sides to play very specific titles. Like I find myself always like, all right, a really cool PlayStation game came out. Let me play that, get through it, and then let me do everything else literally on my Xbox or my computer. Because it's just better.
Okay.
And I feel like this console cycle with like the ability to get an Xbox on credit and just pay like $25, $35 a month is going to open people up to a bigger world of, I want people to demand more from Sony more than anything. I don't want Sony to fail. I want people to demand more. I want the box to be better. I want it to be more than just, oh, God of War is out, or we locked Final Fantasy behind the Sony wall again, and et cetera, et cetera. I feel like all of these games are really, really good, and that we should have a lot more. We should have a lot more preference about what console we prefer to play on, and it just be about the console versus the games. I feel like the vast majority of games are being held back by the fact that people are not striving to make the absolute best console. I feel like Xbox tries to do that this time, which is why you have all of this backwards compatibility stuff, all of this innovation as far as trying to make sure that there's the ability to enhance old Xbox games through this new architecture, through this new hardware. And I just feel like that was the path to go with this generation, because we are reaching the point where it's like, yeah, dog, we want to play retro stuff. We want to play nostalgic stuff. We want to play stuff that we didn't pick up along the way. And, we already, as a PC person, I already know that the majority of like what's locked behind a console's ability to present a game is held back artificially from where it's created, which is on PC in the first place. Because all these games are damn near made with the same fucking engines. Damn near everything is made in Unreal or Crytek, or, sometimes there's a couple of things with custom engines. But even those custom engines are held back because it's like, we can only tune it up so far on the PC, or we can only tune it up so far so it'll actually work on PlayStation. And then we got to lock it that way until forever. And it's kind of nuts. To me. But
Okay.
But I wish everybody the best. I wish all you niggas the best, as always. I don't want to step on nobody's feelings. I don't want nobody to feel salty about it. I really don't, because like I'm not like a console. I think console war shit is corny, honestly. Like I feel like we should have open and honest conversations about what it is we're experiencing with the shit that we buy, which will never happen, not at least the way I want it to. But you know, like those are important conversations as consumers and as people of the culture that I feel like are not had because it's like, but they ain't got God Award Spider Man. Like Spider Man. Like
Calm down. Relax, calm down. Okay.
Miles Morales Spider Man this time. It's more quick. It's more quick time events. It's more quick time events in photo mode, my nigga. Like we know what New York look like. Go to New York. You go find out it don't look quite like Spider Man. It's close, but it don't look quite. You know, there's some smells. There's some things you're gonna experience being down on the streets that you're not gonna be too happy about. I love New York though. I can't wait to really get back to New York. New York was an eye-opening experience because in New York was the first time I really seen like, oh, that's why they have all these language features built into the phone. Because unlike where I'm from in Detroit, where the vast majority of people speak English, and if they don't speak English, they still use English on their phone because they have to speak English to damn near everybody around them. In New York, I was seeing people show each other shit on screens, and it's in whole other languages like so often to the point that it broke down that barrier of me seeing English as the default for the first time. If that makes sense.
Okay.
Like seeing people like in groups having like and in multiple different groups having like multiple different conversations simultaneously in a bunch of different languages all throughout like the various trains we got on and the various spots like we was going to was just like, bro, this is crazy. Like these kids are fresh off a plane from halfway around the world and they just here on a fucking field trip. That's nuts. People don't come to Detroit like that. People don't go to Detroit like that. Like not in like big ass groups and shit like that. Like we're not really a high priority for the international community, which is unfortunate because we're such an international space. But I ain't gonna get into that.
Different topic for a different set for a different pod.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that for a different pod. We only got like 12 minutes left. I want to keep this one short. We went 3 hours last time. I only want to go like 2 hours this time.
Okay.
But I do want to get to some important shit as far as like the culture.
Okay.
Not really, not nothing crazy, but just like I'm getting to a point where I feel like people respond well to the things I say when I say them and I think about them before I say them. I want to express shit with people more, but I also I know that people are rubbed the wrong way by shit that doesn't make them feel comfortable. A lot of times. Like even if it's facts, like they don't give a fuck. Like I want to talk about like some of the bigger stories of this year, but I don't want to talk about it on the platform because A is one-sided. I don't feel like the proper way to have that conversation is to talk at people. And the only thing that you can do as far as like podcast shit goes is talk at people like we're talking at each other. Like us in the audience. You know what I'm saying? Like we literally can't hear each other because once this is recorded and it's set in stone, like what I said is what I said. And I feel like that a lot of times is what inspires people when they like hear clips of podcasts and shit and be like, oh, we have to go tell them how we feel now. And it's like, no, you don't got to tell me shit, honestly. Because how you feel is how you feel. And it's not important.
That's not how a conversation works.
That's not how a conversation works. And on top of that, like, bro, I'm doing a podcast. I'm not having a conversation with you. We're not making points and we're not seeing each other as human. You see me as a nigga with a podcast, or you see me as a nigga who's talking about something who has a different opinion from you. So you're doing what your natural now ingratiated default is, which is, oh, make sure that we tell this nigga what's what. And it's like, but you can't really tell me what's what. Like, even if we had the conversation in person, you can't really tell me what's what because some of the shit you're saying isn't fact. No matter how it may make you feel, it's not factually based. You don't have anything to pull from when it comes to that particular subject. Like I said, I don't want to get specific because I don't want to start any of that shit with anybody. But no, it's a couple of things, and it's been a lot of things that people have been emotional about. Like, it's excuse me, fuck, I've been talking for like 2 hours straight. It's been a lot of shit that people have been emotional about all year, like outside of COVID shit, outside of personal shit that they was going through. Where it's like, what can I tell you about this thing that you'll actually listen to, that you'll be okay with? Because it's very clear to me you're not okay with anything but exactly what it is you and what other people have hyped you up to believe is the only solution to this problem.
I think I know what you're talking about. Are we talking about it or are we?
No, I'm not going to talk about it. Like I said, I don't want to get specific.
Okay.
Because that can go for anything, and it's probably best if it can go for anything. I don't want to be specific.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, you're heartbroken because shit didn't happen the way you thought it would. The world is fucking crazy. This orange Cheeto nigga is fucking everything up through proxy of just being an asshole. Like, he's just such a huge asshole, he turns everybody else into huge fucking assholes. This nigga's like an echo in the fucking force of assholery. And it just washes over everyone. You got people that on a Tuesday I'll fuck with what it is they doing and what it is they saying. And you got them out here on a Thursday acting a complete ass, and I'm just like a captive fucking audience to it.
I don't even know, fam. That's crazy.
Like, that's the worst shit about Trump for me. The worst shit about Trump for me is how much hate he creates by just existing.
Yeah.
And I don't care about like outside hate. Outside hate is whatever. These niggas all the way in West Virginia don't scare me. I don't give a fuck about what they got going on. These niggas gonna go on their lunch break, eat their Arby's, go back to work, go home, and fall asleep on the couch drunk. They are no fucking threat to me. They can get online and start talking cash shit like it's World Star and shit, but I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't like when niggas are like, man, this is why we got to get more guns, because I feel like if you're reactive to getting guns, that means you're not proactive enough to be really doing the necessary diligence as far as gun safety goes, and you scare me at that point. Because there's nothing scarier than somebody who's reactive as fuck with their gun training, maintenance, and handling. For me. Because I don't know if you'll hit your target at that point. I don't know that you've picked up a weapon for the right reasons. I don't know if it's because it's something you really believe in or if it's because you're afraid. And a nigga with a gun who is afraid is the last person you want in your vicinity. Whether they be white, black, supremacist, not, like a scary motherfucker with a weapon that can kill anything it's pointed at. Just no. Just, I don't want this nigga to have nuclear launch codes, and I don't want you to have a gun.
Gotcha.
It's okay to be a coward. Like, it's okay to be... Okay, it's not okay to be a coward. Let me rephrase that. It's okay to be afraid, but it's not okay to be uh violently reacting in a fearful manner when you have a weapon of such destruction. Um, because that's how unfortunate circumstances happen in the first place that lead to hours and days and weeks of people arguing, putting themselves at risk, putting themselves in the line of fire for all kinds of fuck shit because everybody's hopped up on hate and fear. And again, what can I even tell you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what can I tell you? You're already afraid. You're already pissed off. You're sad. You're hurt. You haven't healed from the last shit that happened. What can I tell you now? If I try to tell you some shit that's factual, or I try to tell you some shit that's not exactly how it is you thought it was, and it should change your opinion of at least how you approach the shit, but you're in so deep at this point that you don't want to live with that shame of having been wrong and went so hard with information that was bad. And it's like, bro, that's why you got to get the information in the first place. I'm never going to be the nigga to be like, I'm never going to be the nigga to be in people's faces or try to
Be
fuck their
careful. I
day
know
up.
that's what you're trying to do, but be careful.
I'm not the type of person to try to fuck somebody's day up because they were wrong. I don't try to get people. I don't like try to set traps for people to just be like, I told you. That's why you don't know shit. You stupid. You fuck. Like, that's not who I am. I want everybody to have the same information I got so that at the bare minimum, their perspective can teach me something. But if you don't have the information in the first place, there's nothing you can teach me other than fear. So, you know, it is what it is, man. America's always been in fucked up shape, but I feel like it's never really affected me as much as it has now because I'm in a bunch of spaces where I can't escape how fucked up it is.
I think that just comes as a consequence of getting older and
Getting
just
older,
living.
being responsible for more shit, having my hand in this and that. And yeah, like, I don't know. It gets complicated. But, I just want people to act civilly at the end of the day. You can act civil, you can have civil discourse. We can argue all day
Right.
till we blue in the
It's when
face,
it's
till we
turn.
red in the face, but it gotta be civil. If it's
It's
not
when it
civil,
turns
then
violent
it's
that
gonna
it becomes
create
an issue.
right. It's gonna turn violent because that respect ain't there. And that was a new incident that people got a bunch of fucking opinions on, and they're probably wrong because they don't got all the facts. Again,
Right.
it's a fucking feedback loop. So, either way, despite this being the Shitpost Boys podcast and us barely ever really getting around the shitpost,
Now we got into something today. We got into a few of them.
a little bit, a little bit.
We'll get better with that.
We will. Either way, let's wrap it up. We're down to the last
Hey,
to the wire.
hey, and if it makes you feel any better, this whole thing is a shit post in and of itself.
Basically,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Final thoughts. Shout out to anything you want to do.
Just shout out to whoever's listening. That's it.
I feel that. That's succinct. Yeah, shout out to everybody listening. Shout out to like all the people in Discord, even though y'all piss me off constantly talking, and it's not about me because I've been too lazy to turn my notifications off. Yeah, shout out to everybody who's recently listened for the first time. I know a lot of people still don't know that I have a podcast and shit. But that's kind of on purpose because this, like I said, this is not really the final format. This is not even our final form. This is some shit I'm doing in the meantime to try to get my credentials up, to try to get my workflow up, and really kind of get my hours in before I'm doing shit on a basis where it's like, oh, I need to inform everybody all the time that we got new shit coming out.
How
Yeah,
long you think it's gonna take for that to happen?
I think we getting there. Honestly, like I don't think we're far off at this point. I think if we do like what we did this week and we just kind of get across some of the basics before we get started and get in here, and I'm really watching the clock like I'm supposed to be, we're not gonna have an issue where we're running over or where we're getting sidetracked or et cetera, et cetera. I was kind of distracted today, obviously, because like I said, it was just the time we did it. I was trying to make dinner and shit like that. So it is what it
Mm-hmm.
is. If we had a set time and I was able to work around that set time at all times, and I probably should just set that schedule myself and just do the same thing, which is, hey, if you're in, you're in. If you're not, you're not. So whatever, we go from there with it. Um, but yeah, shout out to my mom. She turned 64. Shout out to my niece.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Yeah, shout out to my niece. She also had a birthday this week. A bunch of people had a fucking birthday this week.
Shout out to all the people who had a birthday this
Yeah,
month.
shout out to everybody who had a birthday this week. Yeah, that's about it. I don't I think I've been talking to everybody else pretty frequently and they know how I feel about stuff. So all right, remember, shutting the fuck up is still absolutely 100%, whether it be organically or inorganically, no matter who your supplier is, no matter who you get it from, shutting the fuck up is still absolutely 100% in every currency, in every country, in every context, free. Feel free to shut the fuck up sometimes. Not all
Wear
the
your
time.
mask.
Sometimes you got to say the right. Sometimes you got to say shit, and it's got to make an impact, and it's got to be that moment, and you don't have no other choice. But shutting the fuck up, especially when you don't know any better, especially when you don't have all the facts, especially when it feels like, I don't know, this could go either way. Shutting the fuck up is absolutely 100% free. And yes, wear a mask. Please wear a mask. And if you ain't got to go that, if you ain't got to go there, don't go there. Stay home. You know, we don't get through this shit going through things the normal way. And I know I got a lot of fucking nerve because I've been out here with my camera doing shit, but I've been doing it away from humans to the best of my ability.
Mm-hmm.
There's no perfect system. I know we're not gonna be nothing is gonna be a one solution to what it is we're currently experiencing this year. But, you know, wear a mask, stay out of people's faces. Don't go to parties. If you see a bunch of motherfuckers in there and you don't see none of them wearing masks, or you don't see at least 3/4 of them niggas wearing masks, and at the bare minimum, like ostracizing all the non-mask people to one fucking corner of the place, and it's not open or outside or ventilated properly, don't go, dog. Just go home. Save your mama some heartache and go the fuck home. All right, that's it. I'm gonna play the outro. I felt like there was one more thing I was supposed to say.
Good night.
Good night. Want to go night night,
Okay,
nigga? Want to go night night, nigga?
Okay, fine. Fuck it. Shitpost boys, we out of here. Yeah.
Yeah.